Okay, we made it to the top. This is looking east on the top of the hill. The property actually continues down this side, down over this gully towards the bottom, and it ends towards the bottom of the gully, which is another hike to get over there. This ridge line I'm standing on, which crowns and goes down a little bit before it goes up a bit. Property line ending just over that little knoll ridge line. But this flat area up here, which is, a good 50 feet wide across the ridge line, probably goes for 100 yards, 150 yards, almost flat and level across this ridge. Without the bushes in the way, you'd be able to set up a volleyball court up here, like 4 of them in a row, end to end. And then it just takes a little dip down and back up to that hilltop you're seeing right over there. So if you're on this ridge and you look south, that's where the length of the property goes. And you see that wash way the hell down there? Well, the property basically ends just short of the wash going down this hill. Off in that direction, like I said, to the east, we have the trail that keeps on going, and it'll go on around to Reddington Pass, which would be up over yonder there. And then, like I said, looking south, you're actually looking at Mount Lemon and the antenna and observatory and stuff up there. And then if you look west, like I said, that's where that mound is that's outside the property, because ridgeline that we're in ends, like I said, a few hundred feet that way. But walking south from here, I don't know, some 7, 8, 9, 1,200 feet. I know it's really hard to have perspective, but it goes down to another little knoll kind of thing there. This is the trail I walked up. Not that you can hardly even see it. You can see it better in the phone than you can in the real life. It's like, yeah, this is trail. Really. 50 years ago, a Jeep drove up here or something. I don't think anybody had been back. Yeah, this trail actually goes over to that lone cactus that you see down there, standing up on yet another little ridge bluff. And that little curled out bluff there with its trail is the lower corner of the property, is right on the lower corner of the property. And then it goes over this way. You can't see that little red outbuilding. It's somewhere down off of the yonder there, where the bike is parked. Like I said, that's way down over that way. And this would be the other corner. And like I said, this would be the top of the hill as I'm starting to descend back down, right? And you go over that hill that we're looking at right now, and it goes into the gully behind before it goes up onto another hill. And I better pack a bigger lunch to get to the far corners of this 20 acres. Because it's all up and down. Now the ground itself is not hard. I mean, it's, gosh, probably 70%, 60% rock, but the earth that is in it is really soft and breaks and crumbles. So at least for the first few layers of this stuff here, I don't foresee any difficulty running a blade through it, and I'm not seeing hard outcrops anywhere, right up to the top. So as you see where the water erosion has cut in, like off the trail here, you can see the dirt is the dirt rock mix, I should say. Almost like these are hills, or reminds you a little bit of the push-up hills, the name escapes me, that are left by glacial pushes. And they push up a tailing pile like material in front of them, and then they retreat and leave a hill, push up another one, and over time you get rows of these hills. They almost kind of remind you like that as far as their composition. A lot of somewhat rounded, yet still young in the process of weathering and erosion. Now see, we spent that whole time walking down from up there. So that whole, can't tell you where it starts on this side, and where it ends on this side, from looking at it from here, because it's too much for your field of view, and without putting up some flagpoles somewhere, just trying to keep your directional bearings is difficult enough. But as you see, it's a fairly steep climb up that. You wouldn't be doing no cutting as you were working your way up with your rig, that's for sure. You'd be doing all your work dragging her down. But it doesn't look scary, and the material to work with looks in the mood to yield, which is kind of hard to come by. And we got some nice flat areas with very rudimentary trails already connecting them across the acreage. Now this trail here is the one that keep following that way, and it'll go on around and around and around and around and around, and eventually all the way back over to those mountains, and you'll be in Reddington Pass. And you follow it this way, and right here it's on the property, because like I said, the property itself includes a chunk of this until it veers off over there. And so you got the gully here going up here to this little dead ender, which is on a nice flat spot that's big enough to put pretty much any kind of house you want. And it's on its own little knoll that we were looking down on from up there. There's your mother-in-law, sweet, right? You always be able to see her coming, because you be, wow, look at, you know, we just went around the corner, and now all of a sudden you can see, oh yeah, that trail goes up there. You know, so this is midway up on your hill. And then this is that part that's fully on the property as it cuts down over to there. And I'd have to look closer because I don't know if that knoll that we're looking at is on the property or just south of it, and if the property line ends just before it, because that knoll looked like a flat sandbar in the Google Earth, and that damn thing is a mini mountain all by itself. And look, you can see my bike again. She's down there. Truly she is. There she is. But yeah, like I said, that knoll is a big ass knoll. Right? It's a little smaller than this one, which of course pales compared to this hill that we're standing on. Gosh, we must change multiple hundreds of feet in elevation from the wash down there to the top of the hill. You know, I ain't done no dead reckoning like that in a long time, and now I'm an old man wearing glasses, so if I didn't know any better, I'd say we were looking at something like 500 feet of elevation change, but it could be 3, and I'm just a wimpy old man with too thick of glasses. But yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if it came in at 6. Look at this erosion across the trail here. And even where it cuts really, really deep and removes sediment, it just keeps dropping larger and larger, but relatively rounded rock that's free to let loose and work its way down the little river ravine, which means that the earth holding it isn't like caliche and all cemented together, and you know you got to use a big ass hydraulic brake hammer on the end of a heavy excavator just to bust and move the earth away anywhere you want to get a footer put in. Here looks like you pretty much make a pass with a good sized piece of equipment and you're going to have sculpted on your first cut pretty much the line you're going to want to make. And then it's just sieving the rock out and trying to spread some dirt. Now see, there's the roof. And like I said, as we walk in here, somewhere before we dump over the edge of the hill here around the corner of this trail, it'd be where the property line would be. So this gully here that we're coming across. So there's the trail we come down, there's the gully like here, there's a knoll right there, right? And that knoll, I believe, is in it, and the property line ends towards the bottom of the knoll just before the wash, or kind of, yeah, just before the wash. And then this another little knoll that's, you know, behind this little red outbuilding is like on the property line. I don't know how much of it's in it or on it, but somewhere in here, they said, is where the property line is gonna fall. So if we'll divide it in half, I'm just saying, ballpark, of roughly somewhere across the top of all this, down almost to the wash you're looking at, which is still another drop of 100 feet, right? Over that way for a few hundred feet before you cut up. Yeah, see, now we can't even see the top of the hill we were standing on, right? But as I said, yeah, varying. This is the hardest part here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Right? This is the hardest part right here. As far as the dirt. Yeah, I'm busted out with my boot. Oh, this earth is in a good mood to be worked. It's not going to tear up your equipment. Not going to beat the hell out of you. Very good. Very good. So you can see it takes a little to walk down this guy. Yeah. But like I said, see the erosion? No matter how deep you go, it's just dirt and rock, dirt and rock, dirt and rock. Which means sand, gravel, rock, and riprap. All on site. See, look at this. Now, like I said, I think right in here-ish is where the western boundary is. I'll have to see if we can see this, that outcrop that's right there next to this gully before the trail takes its bend. Like I said, in this gully here, I have to look back at the pictures and see how much it parallels the border. Yeah, because now we're on to the next person's parcel, and that's their little outbuilding. And they got quite a place back there. Has the official house at the end. And as I said, a little ATV and horse trail traffic up to this point, but it doesn't look like anybody really gives that hill behind us a challenge. And they all kind of turn around here at the little pump house, or what I'm guessing is a wellhead, because now we're just above the wash. We're on the banks of the wash. Another 8 feet of drop in elevation from where I'm standing, and you're in the sands of the wash that run along the base of this valley. Again, that little outbuilding being where it's at on off the corner of the property. So that whole hill area, which looks like just this one big flat hill, which is incredibly diverse in its topography, as you saw, down to here somewhere in the wash, all the way up and over that and you start like 100 yards down the backside of it. And the only way really to get to it is to loop right around this little house, or this little pump house, and up that trail we walked. So you like loop onto this guy's property, and then you're back onto the trail that heads on west for about a quarter mile,